quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
They'll run with Booker, and he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Ben Gideon in on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And the ball is knocked out. And this belongs to the Vikings.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. And his throw here is incomplete. How good has he been throwing the football, though? And despite that incompletion, that's just the 3rd time he's been off target this entire game.
And, Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot, and it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Now Keenum throwing on 2nd.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Throwing on first down is Keenum. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To the air again, Keenum. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 10 more there and another first down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. And oh, he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by by a point. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football?
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Cousins. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Simmons. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Booker on first down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. They'll look to throw. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
No, Roger.
He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. And he's going to have to hook up with Sutton. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. First down now, but that clock rolling.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
This throw caught right around the 6. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. A great effort there in the final minute. And the Broncos have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. Now the offense will stay out there. They're going to line up and try for two.
Hey, 52. Yeah, we're good.
They're going to try and run. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points. And that helps. That gives him a 7-point lead. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. He's back to throw. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. 23 yards on the play. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy's still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Back to throw. And Rudolph has it left side. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
Hey, we're good.
A gain of 32 that time.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the fourth. Now what do? You conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for two and decide it right now.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. Oh, that was dangerous. Throw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
He's going to let this one go deep, and that's caught inside the 35. And now they're going to get the timeout. A huge play, has him in field goal range with a chance to win. So this thing rests on the shoulders of Brandon McManus. With 3 seconds to go, this for the win. this one is right down Broadway. And it'll be all smiles on Blake Street tonight. The Broncos